Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Yin and Yang podcast, episode 37. All right, that's awesome. As always, I'm your host with the most, the one and only D-Pad, and I am once again joined by my fellow co-host, you Kirby,
Hi there.
and Robot Toaster.
Hey.
All right, so how have you guys been doing? Happy Easter, by the way. Well, happy late Easter.
Probably running on Orthodox time.
Did you guys
They
each
have
have
their
a
Easter later. Yes, I got a package from my parents. Or should I say the Easter Bunny?
Oh, nice.
My parents have connections to the Easter Bunny. Yes.
Mm.
So your parents are essentially
how about you?
just the same way as Randy Marsh in that one Easter episode of South Park.
I mean, I wouldn't put it that far.
Do you know what I'm talking about, though?
I know you're talking about the Hair Club for Men.
Okay, good.
And how St. Peter was supposedly a rabbit.
That was a good episode. Was a good episode.
I know. It's one of my favorite episodes. But how was your Easter, Yu?
It was just a Sunday. I mean, we don't really do anything special for Easter anyway, so it was just a Sunday.
Yeah. The only thing we did around here was like mom's been like hit by like the spring clean bug, so we cleaned for like most of Sunday. But I got my chocolate bunny, Easter bunny, and the Easter bunny also left me a copy of season 1 of Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock with a note saying like, "You've been waiting for this for a while. Here you go." So I'm just like, I know who did this. Yeah, but yeah. How's the streaming been going, Yu?
It's been going fine. I'm
Good.
now
Any updates?
Well, I don't know when Earthbound is going to be back since due to stuff that's off screen. So I have no idea for that. So now I'm just doing the Mario and Luigi games that I can do. So that's everything but Bowser's Inside Story, Dream Team, and Paper Jam. And due to very bad game design of Lost Odyssey, that's canned. Which sucks because I'm literally 90% done with the game.
What happened, if you don't want me asking?
Basically, they make you do a timed battle against 4 different enemies that each have 14k HP.
That's a little obsessive.
Yeah,
mind me saying so.
And you've
A load of
already
Shatner.
You already had to dealt with one immediately before, which that's fine. But if you're going to give me a time battle, especially with how really bad the combat system is, I've given more of my thoughts in the most recent in the little add-on when I did the when I uploaded the VOD. So check that out more for more of my thoughts. But yeah, no. I know that's just it's bad.
Okay. All right. Well then, Toaster, how you been, by the way?
Stressed out.
Yeah, you were mentioning that yesterday, like when we chatted. Like,
yeah. See, school has been putting a. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have been enjoying myself at SCAD. I've been honing my craft, relearning some old techniques. I think next quarter is no, not next quarter. I'm gonna be taking a couple classes over summer, but fall quarter is when I start having my candidacy reviews and potentially internships. Looking to get me a job in the art field.
well,
But right now things are I've had to pull a couple all-nighters and just feeling very sick when I wake up in the morning.
Oof. Well, make sure
Yeah,
you take proper care of your.
I'm trying, but it's so you were talking about um so something see, I'm trying to take proper care of myself, but when I'm stressed out by school, I just feel the urge to eat junk food, and I know that that's not very good for
Yeah.
me.
No, for those that don't know, like I've had a little bit of like an overweight issue for like a long time, and I've recently like I'm trying to change my eating habits, and I get where Toaster's coming from. Like I get stressed sometimes, and like I just want to binge eat on like junk food, but I've kind of like stopped and like I'm trying to like eat more healthier. And case in point, today it was one of my coworkers' birthdays, the birthday today, and like they had brought a cake from home that their mom had made, and I declined a slice of cake. And my coworker that sits next to me, he thought there was something wrong with me. He's like, just it's the sign of the apocalypse. D-pad doesn't want cake. Run to the bunker. And I just told him like I'm trying to like not eat so much junk food, like unhealthy stuff. But they had convinced me, and so like I had like a small slice of cake, really good. It was like a breakfast cereal cake with like the Lucky Charms marshmallows on top with like chocolate chips and like sprinkles. But I went for like a walk right after that because yeah,
Yeah. I'll probably work out after the podcast anyway.
I'm probably gonna do some stretches before I head to bed tonight after the podcast. But anyway, we kind of dattled on long enough. Shall we get into our topics, you guys?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
sure. All right.
All right. Let's start with Toaster this time. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, so which one should I start with?
Start with the Beatles.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, I was gonna try and introduce that. So I've talked a little bit about my interests on the podcast a couple times. You guys know I love Star Trek and stuff like that, but I don't think I've mentioned before that I also love the Beatles.
Yeah,
Because
and
I
by
do.
Beatles, folks, he means like the band Beatles, not like the actual insect Beatles.
I don't know. There are some insect beetles I like. You know, scarabs are pretty cool. But this is not about that. So there have obviously been a buttload of biopics about various musicians. Like, I think there have been some Beatles documentaries already. I know that one came out on Disney Plus recently that I still need to see.
It's a good one.
But
I watched it with
well,
Tech because he likes the Beatles too. So
they're great. So we don't have. But anyway, Sam Mendes is directing the movies. This is going to be a series of 4 biopics that are each going to highlight a different member of the band. And we have the cast so far, and forgive me, I don't know who any of these people are. We have Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Harris Dickinson as John Lennon, Joseph Quinn as George Harrison, and Barry Keoghan, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, as Ringo Starr. And the director is calling this the first bingeable theater experience, whatever the hell that means, and these are set to come out in 2028. So I assume the intent is they're going to be released throughout parts of the year and I don't know, be left on cliffhangers. I do know that when these movies come out, my mom is gonna want to watch them with me. My mom was actually the person who told me about the biopics, and she said when these come out, we should watch them together. And I said, I might have to check my plans. I might be doing something that day. Well, we don't know the exact day, but we do know the probable month, which is April. And some people have some mixed opinions about who these movies are going to star. But honestly, I don't have an opinion because I haven't really been following modern movie stars.
Mhm.
I do think it's funny that they're trying to set up kind of a Beatles cinematic universe, considering there already was one. The Beatles starred in a couple of movies back in the day. So far, I've only seen
Oh
one
yeah.
of them, which is A Hard Day's Night. It's very funny.
Hmm.
There's this one
I
time I'm sorry.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's this one time my friends and I were just kind of quoting "Who's that little old man" from A Hard Day's Night. You can continue.
Like I haven't really watched any like those like the Beatles movies, but I did see one like that's like the entire Sergeant Pepper.
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely
Oh, I
Hearts
can't.
Club
Sergeant.
Band.
We're
Thank you.
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts
Yeah,
Club Band. We
I
hope
saw
you will enjoy the show.
I saw like the movie that like that was like the music from like the album for like that like it's really good. I liked it.
It is such a good album.
Nice. Yeah, it was. And like, of course, me being like a kid at the time, I did not realize that that was like actually a Beatles album until like much later when like I'm coming across online. I'm like, this was a Beatles album.
That
Yeah,
was
did
pretty
not know
much
that.
my experience of how I got into the Beatles. I might have told you guys the story already. Like
Uh,
I told you about Savoy Truffle, right?
I think.
Yeah. See, I was in a phase where I was trying to get into more like vocal jazz, like Sinatra and Dean Martin and whatever, because my my job, they were playing it a lot in the store and around Christmas time, and I guess I wanted to start listening to that kind of music to appear sophisticated. I don't know. And another one of these like singers in that kind of genre I was listening to more of was Ella Fitzgerald, who I knew a little bit about as a historical figure, but not necessarily as a singer. And her cover of Savoy Truffle absolutely blew me away. And I was incredibly shocked to find out it was originally a Beatles song. And I had known who the Beatles were as a kid. We had like some of their CDs, but like this was very different from the Beatles songs I knew. So I guess I figured like if I was blown away by this song, then I guess I gotta get more into their songs. And in I think it was March of last year, I decided to listen to every Beatles album, and here we are.
And now you're a full blown Beatles fan.
I guess I've seen a Beatles tribute concert before,
Nice.
and I'm
I actually saw.
slowly dipping
Uh,
into their solo works. Some I like more than others.
nice. But
What
no,
were you
I
about
hope
to
like
say?
I was just gonna say like I've seen like a Johnny Cash concert before, like a lookalike kind of thing.
Like an impersonator?
Yeah, impersonator. That's the word that I like. I don't know why I couldn't think of that because you had just said it. I'm tired today, folks. But Anyway,
And speaking
no, I hope you
of,
enjoy it, like the movie.
no, finish your
But yeah,
thought.
okay,
Finish
go
your
ahead, go
thought.
ahead.
Finish your thought.
No, I just,
You're basically
I was
wrapping
just gonna say,
that
like, yeah, I
segment up.
hope,
You're
like,
wrapping that segment up.
I thought as the Beatles are great.
yes, yes.
And
I was just gonna say,
speaking
like, yeah,
of
basically, I hope when they come out that you enjoy it. But anyway, take it away, you take it away.
speaking of documentaries, we now as of this month, we know that Weezer is getting a mockumentary film.
Really,
Yep,
Wow.
with a very surprising
Weezer,
villain
nice.
in the midst.
Who's the
How do
villain?
you have a villain in a mockumentary?
Rival band.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Keanu Reeves
who's
will
the
be
villain?
our villain. It'll be
He
him and
will or he
his.
should?
He is because
Oh, okay.
the rival band is Keanu's band, Dogstar.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Ah. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. That's definitely gonna be interesting because I love Keanu Reeves. So I didn't even know he had a band, honestly,
I
until like
didn't
you just
either.
mentioned that. So yeah, that's new to me.
I mean, everyone can have a
But
band if they try hard enough.
we should start a band toaster.
I mean, we did want to do song covers, didn't we?
Yeah, we still have to I have to work on that, okay?
Okay, well, I know a couple songs I want us to cover.
Definitely. All right. So,
If we do any Beatles songs, we should do with a little help from my friends.
oh, definitely. Anyway, anyway, do you want to go over one of your topics?
I don't. One of my topics is going to be super long, so we're saving that one for last. But we're going to be starting with Game Informer's back, the magazine, which is surprising as hell.
It's back. Wow. What happened? Like,
Basically,
how did
they
they?
were sold to a studio called Gunzilla Games that rehired all the old staff and promised them to be independent. Website is back up with a bunch of reviews of games that are released since their initial closure and their 2024 Game of the Year article. The magazine will also be back, but there will be news about that in the coming months.
Hmm. And interesting, really interesting.
I just wish that Nintendo Power would come back.
Yeah, honestly, I wish that too. It's like I know it's out, like it's a podcast now, but it's
A
not the same. Like,
very, very barely used podcast.
yeah, yeah. Like, me and my brother, like, we collected like the heck out of like the Nintendo Power magazines, and when we cleaned up our house, like this one time, our dad accidentally threw out like our entire collection. Boy,
Oh
were me
man,
and,
that sucks.
oh, me and my brother, we were like just we didn't like talk to dad for like 2 days because he knew that he had screwed up, and mom had told him like, do not touch this box. This is like the boys' magazines, like they want to keep them. Do not throw it out. But he made up for it by apologizing to us, and he got me Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and my brother the GameCube remastered of Ocarina of Time. They came out like the collection that came out with Four Swords. I think that's the one. I could be wrong, but yeah.
I wish my parents would buy me video games when they screwed up.
I do too.
Well, I'm sorry for making you guys feel bad now.
No, I don't. My parents have bought me other things.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah, do I go now?
It's one of you two, like I said.
I mean,
The
it's your
second one,
podcast.
my second one, no, my
Well,
second
it's
one
our
is too
podcast.
long, so so we're ending on mine, so it's gonna be bouncing between you
Okay.
two.
All right. So yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll just All right. Well, I'll start with this one, Toaster, because then we can kind of segue into like the next one, because like we'll like I'll start first, and then we'll segue because like what I'm going to talk about kind of like leads into one of your topics, if that's okay.
Okay.
And that is Coyote versus Acme has been saved. I am
And
so glad this movie saved.
unfortunately, it's not
Oh,
for the reason everyone hoped for.
what do you think the reason was? If like quickly before I explain
The joke reason or a real reason.
the joke reason.
The passing of David Zalves and Warner
What
Brothers
somebody
being
actually made
taken
a
over by an actual competent fucking person.
Wait, he died?
No, he didn't. That's the joke.
Oh.
death. Yeah, no, but no. So Coyote versus Acme was, for those that don't know, it was originally stated for Max, HBO's streaming service. It was in like live action mixed with like animation, like kind of like Space Jam, Looney Tunes Back in Action, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like tunes in the real world kind of thing. Um, the movie would have depicted Wile E. Coyote suing the Acme Corporation for years of like neglect and abuse with the Acme products, and he would have had John Cena as the head of Acme, the villain for the movie, and Will Forte.
Yeah, Will Forte.
Will Forte.
He would have been Wiley's lawyer. Then you have like the whole Zaslav thing. Like he cut stuff that just just cut, and
And now we don't have Looney
Ketchup
Tunes on
Entertainment.
Max anymore.
Oh, I'm getting to that. I'm gonna get to that.
It's annoying.
I'm gonna get to that. Don't worry. But so Ketchup Entertainment, the same distributor that distributed The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, the other canceled Looney Tunes movie that Zaslav decided not to touch, they picked up the rights to distribute Coyote vs. Acme. Ketchup Entertainment saved both Looney Tunes movies, and so I'm hoping that Zaslav gets this message like through his head that people want the Looney Tunes. Like the Looney Tunes are still a thing. I hate that he's neglecting these characters, like this legacy.
Yeah, it'll be like if Disney just decided to stop using Mickey Mouse.
Disney has its own problems with Snow White. Let's just leave it at that.
I mean, I know, but I was just giving an example.
Yeah, but the difference
Yeah.
between Disney and Warner Brothers is Disney's issues only with one particular bad movie. While Warner
Mhm.
Brothers is their head's a fucking moron.
Yeah. Saber
What I
Spark.
mean is, like, in an era where everyone is trying to cash in on previous franchises, it surprises me that Warner does not want to cash in on its flagship franchise and do something new and interesting with it.
Well, here's the thing. Saber Spark, a YouTuber that I love watching, he did a video covering Coyote, The Day the Earth Blew Up, and he went into depth on like Zaslav's like whole goal, and like he's like Zaslav's goal is they're giving stuff to franchises that really don't have like stuff out, like, so that's Harry Potter.
And that's why we got Velma.
Yeah,
aka
yeah. Like
the most stupidest piece of shit ever.
I could not watch the entire episode of Velma that I watched the first like halfway through the first episode. Like, no, I'm done. Like that is just and you have like Mindy Cohen saying like, this show is like, about like a love for Scooby. This is not a
Bitch,
love for
no, you
Scooby.
didn't have the dog. You did not have the goddamn
Yeah.
dog, bitch.
Can I say something about Velma that makes it
Go ahead.
even more disappointing
Go
while
ahead.
we're on this
Go
while
ahead, go
we're on this tirade of hating Warner Brothers?
Go ahead.
One of the things that
Go ahead.
really disappointed me about Velma is that one of the like producers who worked on it was Amy Winfrey, the creator of Making Fiends. You guys know who that is?
I mean,
You guys
to
know,
be
have you heard of
fair,
Making Fiends?
to that, a lot of people work on really shitty things. So you can't
No,
really.
what I mean is, like, Making Fiends was a cartoon that was really good at balancing like creepy and cute. So if anyone can make like a comedic, dark show, it should have been Amy Winfrey. She should have been the person in charge of it. She could have made a great Scooby Doo series, but no, give it all to Mindy Kaling. I mean, I know that she isn't the only one who worked on it, but
Well, it was essentially Mindy's
it's
project. It was essentially Mindy's project. Like it was essentially Mindy's project. Like she's the one that like wanted to do this, and like
I haven't seen a celebrity actor doom a project this hard since Diana Ross ruined The Wiz. But that's another story.
but no, getting back to like as you mentioned, HBO Max, like this is like after The Day the Earth Blew Up hit theaters, and like it sold pretty well like at the box office. But Zaslav, I guess he just decided to basically Thanos snap Looney Tunes out of existence on HBO Max. He got rid of like all Looney Tunes content, like the remaining content from Looney Tunes. That irked tons of fans. So I have no word if like it's coming back now or like what's happening, but apparently there's going to be like a Looney Tunes DVD Blu-ray coming out of like some of the shorts. Zaslav needs to be fired. Like he needs to be fired. Like he's ruining Warner Brothers. More specifically, he's just tearing apart the animation department with his like tax write-offs. Like Final Space got like canceled before it concluded. Thankfully, the creator managed to like do a Kickstarter to like get a comic book coming out for like the final
good
season.
Things about Final Space.
Final Space is amazing. Like, and I'm not just biased because David Tennant's like the villain, and I love David Tennant. So there's that. But yeah, there's that. But I also wanted to bring this up quickly because a friend actually just messaged this to me, if that's okay, you guys.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, per Deadline, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was the 10th most profitable film of 2024. The film made a net profit of $123.6 million for Paramount.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. That's like he wanted to share that with me because he's like, yeah, I know you're a Sonic fan, so I thought you'd get a kick out of this. So I'm just like, okay. I like it. But yeah. It's just kind of crazy what's doing. But let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. So I mentioned Looney Tunes. So the film festival, Toast.
Oh yeah, did I share the trailer with you guys?
Yeah, you shared it.
Yeah, you did.
I'm really curious about what. So should we do a little breakdown of the trailer? I'll get it up here.
Well, explain about it.
That's what I meant
Explain
by
like what
breakdown.
Yeah, explain what the trailer is for. is what I'm saying.
It is for the 2025 Annecy International Animation Film Festival. And it opens up with Bugs kind of like drawn in the scene, kind of like in Duck Amuck.
Rabbit
Traditional kind
Rampage.
Yeah. And yeah, it looks like the way Bugs is drawn looks very much in line with kind of the Chuck Jones style. That's the way my friends explained it to me, that they know, my friends who know Looney Tunes better than I do. And then as he's drawn in the scene, we have like an image of all these other franchises that I guess Warner owns. Like we see Scooby Doo, we see some of the Hanna-Barbera characters. One of the little details I like when we see this still frame is Fred Flintstone and George Jetson are next to each other in like the little Jetsons car. I thought that was sweet.
Mhm.
Who else do we see in the scene? There's Batman. There's
Garnet.
Dexter Beatty. Oh yeah, the Crystal Gems are there.
Finn and
Chowder.
Jake.
Blue from
The Titans.
Foster's. Oh yeah, Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
AKA the bad version of Teen Titans.
Yeah. The robot guy. The Iron Giant.
Iron Giant.
Wait a minute.
Dee Dee.
Yeah, I said Dexter and Dee Dee already. Superman. Oh, and Craig of the Creek. I guess he's there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made it no secret I don't like Craig of the Creek. But anyway, so the characters are there for that still shot, and then everything glitches out. Kind of reminds me of and then he gets mad at the animator. The way it glitches out kind of reminds me of. Do you guys remember did we ever talk about Learning with Pibby? That like
No, we
trailer thing
I
that
could've
never
sworn
got
we
picked
did.
up?
I could have sworn we did.
maybe we did. I can't remember.
All right, and
Yeah. The
when
glitch.
it
the
glitches
arms-
out, you kind of see some of the facial expressions get a little distorted. Like the Scooby Doo gang have kind of these derpy eyes on. Finn looks like his eyes are crossed out. Amethyst looks like she's frowning. Part of me wonders if this is connected to that, but anyway, Bugs says. Bugs says, like, if the animators can't animate, I'm gonna do it all myself, and I'm just really curious about what he means by that. Part of me wonders if this is gonna be a Duck Amuck sort of thing. Like, that's one of the really famous ones, the one where the animator torments Daffy.
And which was
Oh, yeah,
followed by a Bugs version called Rabbit Rampage.
Yeah, and then
See, that's one of the reasons I'm cautiously
And both of
optimistic,
these
because
got video games, by the way.
Yeah. Duck Amuck got like a DS game, which kind of follows the same like cartoon. Like you're the one kind of torturing Daffy.
Yeah, while Rabbit Rampage is a platformer on the SNES.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And like I remember, like Duck Amuck at the end, the animator turned out to be Bugs.
See, that's
then,
why I
like,
was thinking that this is going to be like that, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Warner Brothers attempting to follow up on Duck Amuck. Like they've done it in a couple other Looney Tunes things. They did it in the 2015 new Looney Tunes show. They did it. I think they did it in Baby Looney Tunes as well. I remember there was this one episode where Daffy was like messing with Bugs with like computer filters, and of course, even back in the classic era, we talked about Rabbit Rampage. So if I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Warner trying to like cash in on this very popular short, but it is very hard to make lightning strike twice. But I am like really curious about what this new short is going to be. Like it seems like it's leading up to a new short.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm curious about it.
Yeah, no. And then just the whole thing like got fine. I guess like I'll animate it myself. Like that's just it's Bugs. So I love that.
That was great.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. I forgot, like when we did the podcast like last time, I forgot to add this topic in. So I'm gonna do it now because I remembered like the moment we finished the podcast last time, I added it to the doc so I would remember to talk about it this time. And that is we're getting a new Smurfs movie, and I have mixed feelings about it because at the same time, all right, a new Smurfs movie. I'm excited because I love the Smurfs. It's one of my childhood shows I grew up with. Mom loved the Smurfs. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't like what they're doing with this because, okay, you have another pop star as Smurfette. You have Rihanna. And no disrespect to Rihanna. I like her. I don't like her as Smurfette. Like, she's just way too sassy. Just for my taste. And the other thing is, so the trailer had dropped and we have a new Smurf. Influencer Smurf. But if you actually take the time to look, that's actually not Influencer Smurf. That's supposed to be Vanity Smurf. I hate that they turned him into this Influencer Smurf character. It just, it bothers me so much. I had to rant for a little bit about that because
You were
yeah.
perfectly justified in ranting about it.
And like I love Vanity
Like,
Smurf. He's like one of my favorite Smurfs from like the original series. Like he's just always looking at his reflection in that mirror. Like just I don't know why it is that I like him. Just I guess it's just because he's had some of the biggest laughs when he gets his comeuppance when he annoys the other Smurfs, especially Brainy Smurf. But
I mean, Brainy
I
was
will
kind of a
say,
douche.
oh yeah, Brainy was like a
But that was the point.
kind of like a suck. He was like a suck up, like in the original series. Like Papa Smurf said that, and like the thing I liked always though is like the other Smurfs would kind of like give him like the boot, like they kick him. They would like punt him across like the village. But what's interesting for this movie is apparently Papa Smurf has a brother.
What is he, Uncle Smurf?
No,
Sorry.
Brother Smurf apparently. But I will say I like that the person they chose to voice Papa Smurf is John Goodman. I love the actor. I think he could play a good Papa Smurf, honestly.
Honestly,
And
I'm
you have
surprised
like,
he's still acting.
yeah. I mean, they just finished wrapping up the Connors.
True.
It's still going?
It's wrapping up. Like the series finale is supposed to be this today or next week. I can't remember when. I saw like a thing on Facebook for it. But and then of course the villain. I'm happy we have Gargamel, but we have Gargamel's brother who was like a character from the comics at some point. I can't remember where. My problem is why couldn't this be a continuation of like the last village? Where like like you have like the female Smurfs, like Willow Smurf, Stormy Smurf, like them. Like why couldn't this be a continuation of that? Why does this have to be like its own thing now? I don't like that. This is like the third time they've tried to reboot the Smurf series. And it's another one of those, like, they come to our world situation. Like, I'm getting tired of that.
Same.
Huh, yeah, they are ending Connors today.
Yeah.
Today, tomorrow. Wow. I thought that basically just because of all the crying that they kicked Roseanne out of the show, rightfully, I should state.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna stop you now and like, that's a whole can of worms.
Yeah. We'll just state that basically Roseanne needs to learn to shut her mouth sometimes. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, because she was originally supposed in the original reboot of the show,
Mhm.
which but then they decide. But then again, she didn't learn. She opened her mouth in the idiot way,
Mhm.
and basically got her. And she willingly stepped down so the show could continue. I commend her for that. That is courage. But
Mhm.
she's still a garbage human being. She is
Oh
still
yeah, definitely,
a fucking garbage human being.
definitely.
But yeah. Apparently, people are pissy about it because they ignored her. They just killed her off randomly. It's like, what did you suppose? To be fair, honestly, I think they should have just done a They should have just done a callback to the original show's ending.
Yeah,
For
When
those
you're
of you,
talking about things I don't understand.
I was going to explain that immediately. For reference sake, the entire god damn it. Was it the 8th season?
I think it was.
I'm gonna real quick check. Real quick check.
I think it was. I could be wrong. Well, while he's doing
10
that, do you
seasons.
want to know a
10
little something
seasons. 10
interesting, you guys?
seasons.
Okay.
10
10 seasons.
seasons.
Okay.
But the 10th one was in 2018. So the original 9th season, I think.
Yeah.
It's like because one of the season finales has Dan have a heart attack.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then basically in the next season, things started going really wacky. Like they win the lottery, they have another kid who's not mentioned in the season in the later seasons, which I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, a lot of this weird stuff. It is then revealed
Yep.
that the entire that the season or seasons after Dan had his heart attack are all part of Roseanne's story. They did not happen. Dan died from that heart attack.
That was dark.
It really was. It really was. But yeah, I don't understand how they basically brought him back. I've never seen the reboot because boot, so I don't know how.
I watched the reboot a little bit with Mama because Roseanne was like a thing at our house. We liked to watch. Like we liked Roseanne before she became unhinged.
Stupid.
If that makes sense. So yeah. But yeah, I actually I think they brought that up like in like the first episode, like the reboot before it became the Connors. Like, didn't you die? Like just like kind of fourth wall kind of joke.
So they did that fourth wall breaking joke similar to what they did with Becky in the original series.
Yeah.
For reference sake, Becky was played by two different women. I can't remember the name of her first actress, but her second one was Sarah
Talking
Shaw.
about the Smurfs?
This delved into talking about John Goodman.
All right.
We'll be back to the Smurfs when we're done. I'm done explaining this show.
All right.
Yeah. The original actress had to go for, I think it was a movie. So they had Sarah Chalk.
It was a movie.
Okay, thank you. So they had Sarah Chalk take over for like one season or two. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I'm gonna first episode when the original actress for Becky comes back, and they literally suddenly go, "Who are you?" Like they always because people got so used to Sarah Chalk Becky.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of a very funny fourth wall joke.
It reminds me of like the fourth wall joke that they did for Fuller House, like the Netflix revival of Full House, where they mentioned because like Michelle doesn't appear in the show at all.
Yeah. I think they
Yeah, because
turned Michelle into a fashion designer, which I think
yeah,
one of the Olsen twins is a fashion designer.
yeah, but like, because like her whole thing was like, she was like on social media, like, she did get asked to be part of the revival. You have Uncle Jesse going like, yeah, no, like we called you up, we asked you, like, come on, like she didn't want, just that kind of rudeness like she was given. So I can't remember what it was that they said, but like they say something and then they all just like stare at the camera.
Yeah, I think I remember that joke. I think it was something sweet. I think it was something sweet they said.
I can't remember.
Like, I think it
It
was
was just
like a
hilarious.
good luck type thing. I
Yeah,
don't
I
remember.
think so, but like just I remember, I think I have like the thing on my Facebook because I remember like I videotaped that and like I could not stop laughing at it. So I'm gonna like try to see if I can find it. Give me a minute here. But yeah, getting back to the Smurfs. Getting back to the Smurfs. Let's get back to the Smurfs. Um, I'm nervous about this movie. Okay, just I want it to be good, but I just I don't know if that makes any sense, you guys.
It makes plenty of sense. I feel your pain about wanting to like something that and then being disappointed.
Mm.
Like I've told you about I wanted to like Strange New Worlds, the one of the recent Star Trek shows, and I just can't enjoy it because of how I feel like they devalued Spock a whole lot.
Mm.
And I feel there's so many little shows or movies that I've just wanted to I could talk about the Deer anime, I could talk about some stupid crap that you guys probably wouldn't care about. But I perfectly understand that feeling of disappointment.
Mm.
Like, I mean, I myself really don't like the whole. I mean, it's not that I dislike the trope, but I feel like it's been overused. The whole characters coming to our world thing. It's one of the reasons why I didn't really like the Pixar movie Luca because I felt like they didn't do much variation with that.
Yeah. Well, Luca, keep in mind, Luca was kind of being produced when like the pandemic happened. Like they were trying to get this like pushed out so like people could actually have something to watch, I guess.
I know, but I still wasn't a big fan. I like aside from Star Trek 4 The Voyage Home, if you want to consider that one of those movies, which I guess it kind of
Hmm.
is, I'm just generally not a fan of this trope. So at least with Star Trek 4, they do justify it cuz like there's time travel and they're not just
Yeah.
flung into our present day. They intentionally go
Yeah.
there to save the
No.
whales. It makes sense in context.
Yeah. Well, like for the Smurfs movie that's coming out, like they literally go to our world to kind of save Papa Smurf, who's been kidnapped by Gargamel and his brother. Then you meet up with Papa Smurf's brother, like this Smurf Brigade of Paris. It's crazy.
I'm
But
surprised they
that being,
didn't they go to Paris in one of the live action movies?
they did in the Smurfs too.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it feels like putting a hat on top of a hat. It feels like they're treading old. It feels like they're trying to. Remember how I went on that whole rant about making the same about a franchise making the same mistake twice?
Hmm.
Yeah, it feels like they're making the same mistake twice.
Mm-mm.
And I guess this one is also going to be a cinematic universe thing, or like a multiverse thing, like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I still need to see.
Good movie. Really good movie.
I hear it's amazing. I need to see it. But anyway, I guess they're also trying to cash in on that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to do that too. But anyway, let's move on, shall we? And so you mentioned Star Trek New
which I
World.
love.
Do you want to bring up like a trailer for like Paramount Plus that came out that they did?
Oh yeah, so you guys
crossover
might
with?
be aware of some of the Paramount Mountain trailers where they kind of have these random characters from shows that Paramount owns, like
I
hanging
don't
out.
like those. I don't like
You
those.
don't like those?
No.
Why
They
not?
feel cursed. They feel cursed.
Okay, well I liked this one.
Oh no. This one I liked. But the others just feel
Funny.
cursed. Anyway, continue.
Yep. Anyway, continue.
There are so many little details in this trailer, like when we see the SpongeBob characters have badges, they look like little starfish because it's the Patrick Starship Enterprise.
For context,
Um,
since either she got cut off, or she didn't forgot to mention, this is a
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Trek SpongeBob commercial, spoof commercial.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, you
Star
didn't
Trek SpongeBob.
you didn't mention that Toaster. You just like
I'm
really
sorry. So
started.
anyway, so one of these Paramount trailers. This is a crossover between SpongeBob and Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, where the starship is Patrick, the Patrick Starship, the Patrick Starship Enterprise, and
Brilliant.
yeah, and there's just some and unlike Strange New Worlds, it's actually funny. I'm sorry, that was a little bit mean to Strange New Worlds. Even though plenty of my friends like it, I don't. But there's so
Yeah.
many interesting details on the ship. Like you see little nebulas in the background, are shaped like the flower clouds in SpongeBob.
And then you have the
And
jellyfish,
yeah, and we
the
see
foghorn sound,
what'd you say?
the foghorn like
Oh
sound
yeah,
like to
and we
blow the
see
jellyfish with.
when we see Sandy with a little Starfleet badge on. Same with SpongeBob. Their badges look like stars because starfish.
Yep.
We see Uhura having a little steering wheel at one point. We have Captain Pike has
Yep.
a shell phone. You know, Uhura's cooking Krabby Patties in one scene. It just, I mean, so one of the things I guess I'm gonna have to compare this to another thing I didn't like about recent Star Trek. Okay, first of all, I just want to establish I love Lower Decks. It is great. It is easily one of the easily one of the best things in modern Star Trek. But if there's one thing that kind of annoyed me a lot about Lower Decks, it's that they over relied on reference humor. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with referencing things previously in the franchise. Like even TNG would have episodes. Like they had a couple episodes where TOS characters returned. Like there was a DS9 episode where Kane, Koloth, and Kor, three Klingons who appeared in different TOS episodes, appeared. And DS9 also did kind of their send off to the Tribble episode, and there was a Voyager episode where they had a flashback that revealed Tuvok was on the Starship Excelsior with Sulu around the same time as Star Trek 6. I'm sorry, this isn't. I assure you, this is not just going to be me geeking out about Star Trek. But anyway, what got to me about Lower Decks was I feel like they over relied on these references, and sometimes they use them in clever ways to like expand on old plots, but a lot of the time it was just like, hey, remember that thing that existed, without really telling a joke about it. I don't mean to sound mean, but sometimes the references got kind of on the same level as Teen Titans Go's references, where they like acknowledge something exists but don't really make a joke out of it. If that makes any sense. But here, everything is integrated so beautifully. Like it feels kind of seamless. Like if just so many little details that I mean, okay, the rear boost being a fart joke is one of the things that does kind of bother me. As like I'd say the only other thing that bothers me is the fur texture on Sandy. I think it's a little too detailed. If that makes any sense. But yeah, this thing is beautiful. I don't know if it's gonna be. Oh, hello, Ethan Peck. I'm sorry. I'm rewatching the trailer as I talk about it. As much as I don't like how they portrayed Spock in Strange New Worlds, I think Ethan Peck does a pretty good job as an actor, and he is very
Mhm.
sexy. I'll admit.
I will say the thing I liked about the trailer was when you have Spock doing the imagination. Like
Even though
it,
it feels very. I mean, again, this is just me being nitpicky, but I feel like he sounded a little bit too emotional while saying that. I think it would be funnier if he sounded more deadpan while doing it. It it must have been your imagination. Like I don't know. I could see Seven of Nine saying something like that. Like there's her famous line, "Fun will now commence" in one of the episodes.
mhm.
Um, I mean, again, I'm not saying I dislike Seven of Nine or Spock. I obviously love Spock. He is one of my favorites. But I just feel like this moment would have made more sense for Seven of Nine. And I do like though that as he's doing Little Rainbow, he's doing Vulcan salutes. Weird thing is I could see my character Takov, my like little emotional Vulcan. I could see her doing that. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it does. Like honestly, just the whole concept for like a crossover between Star Trek and SpongeBob, like I liked it a lot. It was just
I know I am
hilarious.
nitpicking about these things. I know it's intentionally supposed to be goofy. I'm just really defensive about Spock.
Mm, all right. Well, how about we move on to your last topic, and then we'll move on to mine, and then we'll move on to Yu's because his is going to be like longer.
Okay.
It's fine.
So we've talked about some shows and stuff, and we've talked
Mhm.
about um things about franchises being revived. And we talked about this before, the King of the Hill revival?
I don't think we have.
Okay, well, I've been watching a lot of King of the Hill recently for whatever reasons. I've kind of had it on the background while I've been watching other projects,
Hmm.
and we finally kind of have a release date for the revival, which I'm not sure how to feel about a revival, just because the original show had such a perfect ending. But we know that it is going to be we know that it is going to be airing sometime in May of this year. Well, or that's it's going to be okay, I'm looking at the article right now. It's going to be aired as a sneak peek at the ATX TV Festival in Austin, Texas on May 29th. It's the festival's from May 29th through June 1st, but we don't know the exact day. And it will be coming to Hulu this summer.
Nice.
And some of the voice actors are returning. Um, though it is going to be sad that some of the voice actors have passed away. We know Dale's voice actor passed away recently, and Luann's voice actress passed away a long time ago.
Hmm.
Am I gonna get shade for saying Luann is one of my favorite characters? I feel like she's misunderstood.
Oh no, she is. She is.
I mean,
I,
it's not
I
like
feel
you're
like I can
going.
relate to her being taken advantage of for her naivety.
I mean, it's not like basically people are going to jump on you for saying you like Peggy.
I mean, like, Peggy gets annoying, but I can also kind of relate to her flaws because she seems to think she's smarter than she really is. And I have a lot of those moments. I'd say Peggy does remind me of my mom a little bit. I really hope she isn't hearing this. But again, Peggy does have her good moments.
Mhm.
Um,
Like I've
I-
told Toaster this. Like I've kind of started watching King of the Hill just because it's usually on when I get home from like work because we have that Adult Swim channel, so it's just usually on. So I've caught myself watching a few episodes here and there, and so like I have Disney Plus, and it's on Disney Plus because of we don't have Hulu here in Canada, but we have a thing called Star, which is the Canadian equivalent to Hulu. So the Hulu content from like Hulu is like on Star for like me here. So I have
oh
like
wow.
King of the Hill, Futurama, Family Guy, like that. So I've kind of started watching King of the Hill, and I forgot that I loved Mike Judge, like the creator of King of the Hill. He did that movie, Office Space. I forgot how much I
Oh, I've
loved
heard
Office
a lot
Space.
about that.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Uh, but no. So I'm kind of excited for the reboot. And speaking because Pamela Hayden, the voice of Bobby for King of the Hill, she also voices Jimbo Jones from The Simpsons. Pamela Hayden has officially retired as Jimbo because she's going to be focusing on the King of the Hill reboot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they have a new voice for Jimbo. It's I can't remember the name, but it's someone from Parks and Recreation that's taking over the role.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy that they're
Mo
continuing on
Collins.
having. Thank you, thank you.
So one of the reasons why I'm kind of interested in this reboot specifically, I mean, I've heard some people say it's going to continue the story, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm not sure I ever told you guys this, but King of the Hill might be one of the first adult cartoons I ever watched. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch adult cartoons until I was 14, and so sometimes, instead of doing homework like I should have been, I would sneak down to the basement and I would watch Adult Swim at like 10 o'clock at night.
You were born
Nice.
in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
born
yeah.
in
It's either
October
King.
1996.
Yeah, it's either King of the Hill or Simpsons.
Yeah.
And once you get to like 2005, then it starts going Simpsons, Family Guy.
Well, I mean, I watched Family Guy a bit as well, but Family Guy really fell off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I will say King of the Hill, it does have its duds, but I would say, for a show that ran so long, it actually, I'm not sure it really got flanderized like Family Guy did. I wouldn't say its writing deteriorated as much as other shows. And like I said, the ending is near perfect.
Honestly,
All right. Well,
I don't mind the revival because in the case of King of the Hill, it's a sequel revival.
kind of like Futurama in a way, sort of.
No, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna be an anime nerd and do this. The
It's
King
a
of the
time skip.
Hill. Yes. King of the Hill
Okay.
revival is essentially the Boruto to the original series is
Oh, okay.
Naruto. everyone is older now. Type.
Yeah, Bobby's like a chef now, isn't
Yep.
he?
Yep.
And he's still going to be voiced by a woman, even though he's an adult.
Yep.
I mean,
That
Pamela
is
Hayden.
there's
weird.
some. I mean, it with the voice that Pamela did for Bobby, it's noticeable, but it's an acceptable noticeable.
Yep.
It's not like Linda in Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, like my
I-
friends and I have talked about this. Like when a female voice actress plays a male character, you usually can't tell.
Yeah.
But when a male voice actor plays a woman, it's blatantly obvious.
It depends. It also depends on the tone of voice the male does, though. But in the case of Linda, it's literally just there's no effort. Well, I mean, okay, I shouldn't say no effort. There's very little effort. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just I don't like that type of thing. It's like at least try. And yeah.
Yep. All right,
And
so
speaking
moving
of
on
revivals, we did get the trailer for the Phineas and Ferb one. And
yeah, I'm excited for
the
that one.
team did not lose their fucking magic.
Oh no, the revival looks just so much awesome. Just and I love like the reference like Doofus where it's like, you know, he's gone back to evil. Just it's Doof.
I hope to God they make references to Milo Murphy's Law.
I need to give
Yeah,
that show another chance.
Considering
It's a good show.
Doofenshmirtz was in Milo Murphy's Law, they need to.
Yeah. They definitely need to.
Even
Alright,
if it's
so
and it's not, and I'm not talking it's just Milo and his friends are in the background. No. It needs
like
to
let's
be
get a
Phineas
crossover
and Ferb
episode.
cinematic universe.
I wouldn't say crossover. It's more No, no crossover, yeah.
Hmm.
Alright, so I'm gonna say this then, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
fine.
So, as I mentioned last podcast, the Children's Kids Awards were happening around the same time. Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock got nominated for a couple of awards. Now, they won a couple, but I wasn't able to find like the full list on like what they won. It's just I don't know. But I do know is that they actually won an award for best children's or family viewing series. And
Wow.
and both Karen Prowl, the puppeteer behind Red Fraggle, who has puppeteered Red since the original Fraggle Rock series, and Donna Kimball, who has taken over as Moki, they both won awards for their puppetry skills as both Red and Moki. And then there was a nominee for an episode I Am Pogi for the GLAAD category for the awards. And honestly, I kind of wish it won because that was like my favorite episode from season 2 of Back to the Rock. It really dived into more for Wembley's character. And Wembley's like my favorite character from the Fraggles. So seeing him kind of struggling in this episode, it hit close to home for me. And like it has a happy ending at the end, but like it was a good episode. I kind of wish it won. But you know, I have to say congratulations to Back to the Rock. They're currently doing a live stage show for Fraggle Rock right now. It is coming to Canada, but it's not coming anywhere near my neck of the woods. So the closest show for me is in Toronto. So I'm like, do I really want to fork the money over and get like a plane ticket to go see this, or do I just want to like kind of see if I could find a copy of it online because someone's gonna post it up online. So there's that, but I'm also kind of hoping Apple TV kind of does like a broadcast of the live performance, kind of like what Nickelodeon did for the SpongeBob Broadway musical. If you guys have seen that, I highly recommend checking that one out. That's a really good musical.
Where they literally
But
turned Plankton into Goro Majima from Yakuza.
yeah. Yeah, I love the musical. I have the soundtrack for it just because it's I like the music. But yeah, let's move on to the last topic. So you take it away, buddy.
The note I should state it. No, they don't literally do it. The actor who plays Plankton in that is literally just wears an eye patch.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just a silly joke. It's kind of funny. Anyway,
Mhm.
the big thing is back in if you remember back in February. Well, actually, in the last podcast,
Podcast.
I mentioned that Nintendo announced the successor to the Switch. This month, we finally got our first look at it, and people are excited. Except for the prices, because Nintendo's now going and joining Sony in raising game prices.
Yeah.
Which sucks,
Well, then-
but I understand because inflation is a pain in the ass.
Tariffs.
Yeah, inflation, tariffs, that stuff.
Mhm.
We're not going to go too deep into it. If you want to see a deeper look, myself and Mega have have watched that direct a day later. So on the Split Screen channel. So be sure to check that out. We do apologize for the bloom. Mega recorded it, and he didn't realize it until he didn't know that the bloom was going to be on his recording.
Mm.
He thought that the bloom would not be there. So we do apologize for that.
Also, I could say insert plug in here because we're referencing Split Screen Squad. So a little plug in.
But yeah,
I'll shut up.
I am honestly excited for the Switch 2. I can't grab one because I'm not in a good monetary situation. I also should state we are recording this on the day of pre-orders going live in America. Everywhere, and Canada. Everywhere else except us in Canada. I think Mexico is also affected by this. I'm not 100% sure.
I think they are. I could be wrong. I know, we have pre-orders here.
Yeah, everywhere else was April 9th, though. And the console is coming out June 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I will admit, though, I am disappointed in the price increase. I'm honestly happy with the Switch 2 prices. $450 for the console without a bundle, $500 with it. Because honestly, that's kind of basically fine for a console. $450 without a bundle, $500 with the bundle. That should be the main price for consoles.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's not so bad. It's the whole price for like the games is just a whole other story. Like, and then like people were like voicing their concerns, like voicing their opinions for this, and like I guess Nintendo kind of responded back saying like trust us, like it's gonna be worth like the amount of money, like the games are gonna be worth the amount of money. I am not happy with this because for me here, if I want like a new Switch game, it's gonna cost me like evenly like $100, you guys.
Yeah, that is the annoying thing.
Yeah. That's just I don't like it, honestly. I don't like it one bit. But I mean, I'm trying to save my cash for my own Switch too. Just I have to get it because Donkey Kong. Like, if they didn't announce like a Donkey Kong game for Switch 2, I'll be like, eh. But they had to announce Donkey Kong Bonanza for Switch 2, so I gotta get it because it's Donkey Kong. I love the big ape. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
honestly should be about it. I
yeah.
know that it's not that long, but I also wanted to help D-Pad get some of his thoughts on the thing out too.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate like you waiting for like me, like waiting for this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I am tired. I had a busy day at work today. Today, I can say this, but today at work we did like a bring your kids to work day. So we had like the staff bring their kids to work today. That was really fun. Me and two other coworkers ran the canteen for the thing today. We got to play some Timmy Shop music from Undertale, and then we uh took a break, and then we played the Wii Shop music channel because one of our coworkers recommended that. So we're like, yeah, we'll play it. So we played it. It was kind of fun. And we're like the go-to team for like when we do like these events now. So like I guess our boss had said that next time that they do it, they're gonna get us to do the canteen again. And we actually get to come up with a sign for the canteen. So I think the idea we came up with is we're gonna draw we're gonna like make it as like the Tim shop from Undertale, like a Tim sign with like a Timmy on it. Yeah, there's that. But no, any final thoughts before we wrap this podcast up, you guys?
Not really on my
It was
side.
nice to record again.
Yeah, it was. All right. Well, then, with that being said, this has been episode
37.
37 of the Yin Yang podcast. Thank you. And before we go, be sure to, join the Discord server. Join us for our, topics for more shenanigans, I guess you could say. I'm trying to get into the habit of doing like movie streams now. So I'm gonna like let you know like when I'm gonna do like another stream. We also have an episode of Movie Sign coming up soon. We have to record for, so be on the lookout for that. And also be sure to follow my boy Yu over on his Twitch, and also follow Toaster on her DeviantArt account. She's done some amazing artwork, you guys. I love looking at her art. She's done art for me too. But she's done
I
art
want
for
to do
us.
some more art of you coming up soon. If I
We'll
can
have to
find
talk.
the time to do it.
Yeah. I should say this if that's okay. I asked Toaster to come up with a new logo for the podcast, so we're kind of working on that behind the scenes when she can. So there's that. I'm kind of I have some ideas for it. We just kind of have to figure out. But with that being said, you guys, this has been the Yin Yang Podcast, episode 37. As always, I'm D-Pad. Later days. Have a great morning, afternoon, night, whatever.
This is you. Take care.
And this is Robot Toaster. Have a good time.